Welcome to the Mississippi Speed Instruction Podcast. My name is Coach Philip Short, and today we have one of the best in the business joining us right here in the studio. My guest today is Coach George Adams, the head athletic performance coach at Madison-Ridgeland Academy right here in Madison, Mississippi. George has been at MRA for 7 years and has been a part of 8 state championships across football, track, and basketball. Before MRA, he worked with the Minnesota Vikings and at multiple college programs, including the University of Georgia. He holds a master's degree in kinesiology and is one of the most published and recognized high school strength coaches in the state of Mississippi. What makes today's conversation especially relevant for parents of youth athletes is that Coach Adams doesn't just train high school kids. He starts with 7th graders. He has built an entire system that begins with foundational athleticism and develops athletes from the ground up. Coach Adams, welcome to the show, man. Great to have you here.
It. That's a heck of an intro. I appreciate it.
Man.
Makes me sound a lot better than I am.
The man. We're ready to soak up some of that knowledge that you have for us today.
Yeah, come on.
So, Coach, I want to start here.
Yep.
You built MRA into a speed-based program, and, you made speed the identity of your entire system at MRA. So for parents of young athletes sitting at home, kids who play soccer, basketball, football, I guess my question would be, why should speed be at the center of what their kid is developing right now?
Yeah, I think, and it's kind of cool you coming back on the coaching side, right? Because you saw my first year at MRA.
Yeah.
And when I came in, right, the first year is always interesting because you're trying to establish just more so how you're going to work.
Right.
But getting there, right, we were talented, we were good. But then when you start looking at the grades below, anybody we play, right, we're not, especially in football and in basketball too, it kind of works the same way. We're not the most physically dominant team. We're just not going to lean on people. We don't have those kids.
100%.
We don't have the the type of team that's just like, hey, we're gonna physically just beat you and you're gonna submit.
Physically impose.
No, and so
not getting off the bus.
No. Like when you see us against some teams, I understand where some of these teams, they look at us during warm-ups, right? And they're like, man, this is who we're playing? Yeah. And right, we especially this past year we saw it. But it's been like that since I got here. And so it really came from how can I help provide something to our coaches that can be used as a weapon? Right. And I think that's speed, right? Because I can't make the 5'9" receiver, 6'3" receiver. But we can be as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it started. And like I said, you saw year 1 and then you've been on this side of it coaching now. And year 7 looks a lot different than year 1 did. And it's just trying to be intentional with it. Speed, I love the term speed kills. And it does. There also has to be, it has to be done right. A lot of people confuse speed training and conditioning.
Which is one thing I think you do very well, man.
Yeah, it's very separated. Even our conditioning, though, is all I'm not going to call it sprint-based, but, we try to take what the game actually looks like and try to get ready for that. So, a long-winded answer. But I think that's the thing is, speed is something that you can maximize. Everybody has a ceiling for it.
Right.
Not everybody's a 4.4. There's not nearly the amount of 4.4s running around that
we see.
That Twitter wants you to believe, but but everybody does have a ceiling where they can get fast. And my job, I think, is I've never known an athlete that was faster and more explosive that wasn't better at their sport.
Right.
And so that's kind of where if we can get that better and we can maximize our kids, I think we do a good job of that across the board of maximizing our kids, and that's just one of those pillars.
Right. Oh, that's true, man. That's good stuff. And, also, I see, you work with athletes starting 7th grade, ages 12, 13 years old. What is the first year of a real strength and conditioning program, looks like for a kid at that age?
Yeah.
What are you building?
Yeah.
What are you asking them to do? What are you not asking them to do? Kind of at that foundational age.
Yeah. 7th graders are, anytime I talk to colleges or anything like that, I say, you can write out this perfect plan. You can put it on the board. You can have this pretty spreadsheet. And that's all well and good. At 8:15, I have a group of 47th graders. I come coach that. You think you're ready to coach? Come on. And then, right, and I know you see it too, with that's a different when you were coaching junior high, that's a different teaching style.
Yes.
And so 7th grade to me is very much, it's their first time in a structured training program.
Yes.
We do a little bit with them in 6th grade just to get them used to putting their hands on a board, getting them used to hearing somebody coach them through the movements. But 7th grade is really primarily for me a weight room year. I still don't think at that age they can fully understand speed technique and what form running is outside of just telling them to sprint. The fun thing with them is, right, they'll go compete with their friends, and that's easy. Like, hey, line up, let's go get a few sprints in, let's go play this little game, like whatever it is.
Yes.
But that first year is so foundational, I think, in what we do, because by the time our kids get to our varsity programs, that 7th, 8th, and 9th grade years are so important.
Right.
And they're super slow for me. The kids get tired of it. I get tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep coaching it like that, but I think it's that important to set us up for the future. As long as we're dosing in, some speed work here and there. But the fun thing is I can go tell them to go play a game, and they go play wiffle ball, they go play football, whatever it is outside.
Yes.
And that's probably better speed training for them at that age than me sitting there trying to get them to do an A march or an A skip. Like, just because they can't, I don't think mentally they have the
capacity.
Capacity or just the attention span to be like, yeah, this makes sense. Yes. So it's just those years are super foundational. I tell people all the time, I want to build. Those years are about building the most robust athlete we can, and then we'll specialize like as we move. But if we can develop them generally athletically at that age, they're gonna be so much better, especially with some of the training we see happen, kind of outside of what we do. Kids are real good running cone to cone. Yes. They're real good running cone to cone, but as soon as you tell them, like, give them a problem to solve, they can't do it. Even at the varsity level, they struggle with that. And so I think that comes from a multitude of things, but it's just we got to figure out how to get them to be problem solvers.
Yes. I agree 100% with that. And it's crazy that you said that, because even last episode we was talking about, kids and making it fun for the kids while also being super intentional, because the games that they're playing, they don't know that, hey, we're working on change of direction right here. You're working on sprinting. You're working on, those different sprint mechanics without even knowing it. And so we kind of talked about and majored on how big that was to keep it fun for those kids at that age, but also, structured in a way that is increasing them athletically and is increasing, their speed and stuff like that. So, man,
it's so important that you brought that up. The games, because, like I said, they don't have the attention span to sit there and I can coach my varsity kids or like the college prep kids. I can coach them, be super detailed in speed training. Younger kids can't do that. They just don't have the bandwidth to sit there and be like, hey, I need you to pull your toe to your shin. I need this angle from your heel in relation to your hip. And I need, no, I think you do a good job of it watching what you do. Like, you take them through some stuff in the beginning as like a warm up, and then it's like, hey, let's go. Like, let's get into it, because it's at least dosing them into it. Yes. But you'll never get in 10 out of them because they don't know how to do it.
Right.
And so I think that's it's a weird game. I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows, because there's not a ton of studies out there.
We mentioned that
it's hard to,
episode too.
I don't know. People may have different thoughts, but I think we're losing general athleticism from kids because we're trying to get them into this like structured training like way too early. And and I guess I get it. Like, you don't want your kid to fall behind because little man over here he's training 3 days a week with this like specialized person. And then a parent is like, oh no, I want to go too. And I get it. I get that aspect, but I think we're training out athleticism, as weird as that sounds. Cause by the time they get to me, I feel like I have to redo so many things that have happened when they should have been, rolling around in the dirt and jumping off of stuff and just free play. Yeah. And so I think, a lot of those small-sided games help, but I think the training world's a little different with those young kids, especially right now. Yeah.
No, I 100% agree, man. I've seen you written about athletes, hitting speed plateaus, their time stop improving, even, though they're putting in that extra work. And you said it often comes down to, overemphasizing volume over quality. And I know you talk about that a lot. And so for a parent whose kid has been practicing consistently but isn't getting faster, what's actually going on right there? And, what do you feel like needs to change?
Yeah. I probably depending on how old they are. Like, it's a few different answers, right?
Okay.
Like, young kids.
Specifically, ages. Let's talk ages 7 to 14 first. And then we'll talk 14, 18.
One, you got to, like, wait on puberty to happen. So, like, the strength to body weight ratio, or, like, force to body weight ratio has to be right. And those kids, right, you see them, they're, like, gangly, and they're weird, and they're awkward looking, and their limbs don't work. And so some of it is just, like, stay consistent. Just stay in the process of it. You can't expect. And we've all seen them, right? Those kids at 9, 10, 11 years old that are freaks on a field. Most of them just tend to develop earlier, and they look different than all the other munchkins running around. And so they're just different. And I think you have to, one, just stay rooted in the process of it. I think that's part of it is one. I think two, like I said earlier, and I know this is probably counterintuitive to most people, but like the structured play is not, or the structured training, I think is hurting some, like the increase, I guess, of trainers, right? Trainers younger. I think there are people that crush it. I think there's people that do a great job and they're like super age specific and it's really good stuff. But then there's so many people out there like taking their kids through these NFL and pro level type things. I'm like, man, they just want to go eat Cocoa Puffs and watch cartoons, let them go play, let them be with their friends, let it be less structured.
Right.
And that general athleticism will come back. Right. But with those young kids, I think it's important to just, like we've said a few times, and I know me and you have talked about it, it's got to be fun for them. I think you're seeing this increase of burnout in kids because it's not fun. And so instead of it, getting to a varsity level, and then it's like, okay, now I need to like take this a little more serious. Yeah. They've been taking it serious since they were 8. Yeah. And I'm like, they don't know how to play the game anymore, right? It's still, at the end of the day, is a game, no matter if it's baseball, football, basketball, track, whatever it is. It's a game. And I think that's one trend I wish I could. If that's like a trend I could delete, it'd probably be that like structured training far too early, because I think it just burns kids out, and we see it. I think we see it a lot, to be honest, at the high school level, and it's been happening for years, right? But like the kids that start structured training super early, they also tend to be the ones that you look at as like 9th graders. You're like, man, they're gonna be a dude. And they get to their 11th grade year, and you're like, what happened? Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, they've been training for 10 years. Yeah. I'm like, that's probably a little bit of it, No,
for sure. 100%. So, no, I get that. And like I was saying, even we discussed this even on the last episode of, speed and agility being the foundation, being the baseline for most athletes. You see a lot of athletes doing like, private, pitching lessons or just baseball lessons or, and we talked about it and we were like, man, most kids nowadays don't develop that baseline athleticism of, for instance, right, if I have a 10-year-old out there with me training, I'm teaching arm pump or, just basic knee drive or, how does it feel to sprint or intent? That's a big thing at a young age of put force into the ground and not just, kids at that age just kind of let their feet hit the ground and feel like if they do it fast enough, then that's sprinting rather than putting force into the ground and really. And so I feel like even kind of hitting on what you were saying, I feel like it's so many people that are doing like, sports specific lessons that they miss the foundational piece. What are your thoughts on that?
And it's the like quantity argument, right? Yes. Like people think like if I train more, I'll get better. And it's not how that works. Like it has to be. I'd rather we tell our varsity kids all the time, especially our baseball kids, it's a good example. I'd rather you go in the cage and take 10 super intentional cuts in the cage than go in there for an hour and just swing blindly. Wow. And like when you look at those younger ages, that tends to be what it is. A lot of training you see, especially with those young kids, and I think baseball's a great example, especially in this area. They just get in there and they just swing. And there's somebody just placing a ball on a tee And like, there's not a whole lot of coaching going on. They're not learning how to swing.
100%.
But like, hey, there's a transactional relationship happening. And like, as long as you keep coming, I'm going to keep telling you you're getting better.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think, somebody at least in the field, it probably isn't the best way to do it. But I never want to just take money from somebody. I want them to get something out of it, right? It shouldn't be a transactional thing. Like, I want to see progress, and that probably holds me back sometimes from doing like more private stuff. But to me, I just think that it's more important for the kid to develop and the quality of reps. I know you've seen it with like what we do, and then even like private facility I work at or private people I work with. They're like, hey, I want to get faster. We come in, we do some form stuff. We'll do some resisted stuff, some plyos. We'll run a couple sprints, and they're like, "Oh, that's it." I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah."
I need 2 to 3 quality sprints per session.
Yes,
and we're gonna be fine.
I 100% agree.
Like, because that gas tank depletes, and sprinting, if sprinting, jumping, throws, anything like that, if it's not max effort or it's not like the highest intent you have, you're not getting anything out of it. You're not getting the adaptation you think.
Right.
And that's where like the quantity argument, people, hey, can we go 5 days a week?
Yeah.
And I'll get that. No, let's not do 5 days a week because you're already training over here.
Yes.
Like, let's come see me twice because I know you're not getting this anywhere else.
I don't want to get the leftovers. You fatigue, and now,
and then let's be on the same page.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly what you're getting. I know exactly what I'm getting. I need you to be locked in.
That's a good point.
Like I said, I'm terrible at business. I'm awful at it, but I think it's more important to provide people like what they need more so than, and it's my job as, in that conversation, at least as the expert, to say like, hey, let's focus this down. Like, what are you trying to get? Like, when people reach out, that's one of the things. Like, what are you trying to get? Well, I want to get faster. What's that mean? I'll ask all these questions to try to figure out what we need. What are you doing outside of here? Our kids at school, right, is a little bit different because I have a lot more control about what they're doing. But I think that's the important thing is like it has to be quality. There's too many quantity reps going on versus like actually trying to get better.
Yes, and I wanted to kind of stay on that point. I know you require basically 3 attributes from the kids. Attitude. You always preach on attitude. You preach on effort and consistency. I mean, you've said it probably a few times already within the podcast, this podcast alone, right? And so I want to kind of unpack each of those, for parents. I think what you're really describing is not only how you train athletes, but people in general, how you develop people of, good attitude, great effort, and consistency. So, could you just unpack those 3 qualities? Yeah,
like attitude, you're in control of that, I think.
No, you 100% control your attitude.
I think you're in control of it, right?
100%.
Like you wake up in a bad mood, and like you let that bad mood continue. Especially in training, in a game, in practice, whatever that is, in the classroom, like whatever. Like if you get to control a lot more of that than people just like sitting and being negative. I feel like a lot of times, and so. You're in control of that. And that's what I try to get the kids to understand because eventually, right, they will be adults. Eventually, there will be something required of them. And, like, your job, your family, it doesn't matter if you're in a bad mood. Like, you got to hit the ground ready to go.
Yes.
And, like, you're just trying to plant those seeds and to get them to understand, like, you're in control of that, right? Effort, I think, is another thing you're always in control of. You're not always going to have 100% in the gas tank. You just don't. But whatever you got, I need 100% of that.
Yes.
Again, because it's the same thing. And they get in a relationship, they get a family, whatever it is, they get a job one day. Like I don't always feel great. Like we were talking about before, early in the morning, we work long hours, right? There's times where like I get to work at about 6 o'clock every morning. We start at 6:45. I got groups throughout the day, and then I'll go work on the backside of it. I'm not always at 100, but the kids deserve consistency from me. And that flows into the next one. But I think they deserve like the best version of Coach Adams they can get every day. And they need to understand, like, if I'm willing to give that every day to them, they got to show up and like uphold their end of the bargain. And then consistency, it just doesn't you show up and you pound a stone enough, eventually the stone will break.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's a thing that's missed. It's like, just show up.
Yes.
Just if you show up with a great attitude and great effort, and you do it over and over and over again,
you will get better.
You're gonna get better. It's not that complicated.
Tried and true formula.
Like, just keep showing up.
Keep it simple. That's it.
Keep showing up. Keep working hard.
Right.
It's not an overly complex formula, especially when you're zoomed out. It's you show up enough, you're gonna get better. I don't, especially if you show up with a great attitude and give great effort. You know, the kids typically that complain about, oh, I'm not playing, I'm not getting playing time I want, blah blah blah, like the poor pitiful me stuff. It's typically the kids that aren't consistent, that don't give great effort, and don't have a good attitude. Like it
has to all go hand in hand.
Yeah, it has to.
It has to go hand in hand.
You're gonna have bad days, and I get it, and that's our job as coaches, is to grab them and be like, hey, what are we doing? Like, snap back in.
Yes.
You're gonna have bad days, but I don't understand the woe is me attitude in sports. Like, you don't have to be here. Right. You don't have to play sports. Right. But then it's those kids, it typically just ends up being something else that they're excuses. Like, man, just if you show up enough and
it shows up even outside of sports, you said, that's just a person.
Shows up as a person in the classroom. The relationships at home with mom and dad, and that stuff just grows. And negative people, especially and again, we can all think of somebody that is just a negative person to be around. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't why would I want to sit here with you? I'm like, man, I got my own stuff to do. And because those people, gosh, I can't remember his name right now. It's an author that writes a lot of books about that, but he energy vampires. If you're around those people, they pull you in. Yeah. And then 100%. You get in the mood of and so man, I ain't got time for it. I got too much to do to sit here and intentionally get in a bad mood. That doesn't make sense. Right? So
no, that's one thing at MSI we really try to harp on is that the attitude and effort. Kind of what's your check your vibe when you walk through the door.
Yeah,
right?
Don't
when you hit that green turf, when you hit the turf, it's training time. Whatever has been going on throughout the day, let's flush it and let's be in the moment. And,
be where your feet are.
Live in the moment and be where your feet are. And man, I love the attitude, the effort, and then like you said, consistency, pounding that rock. Right? If you just keep pounding the rock, you keep chipping at it. I mean, eventually it's gonna break. So. Yeah,
and I think you see it is. There's too many people in training right now, training to get a scholarship. That's a byproduct of what you do. That shouldn't be the reason why you are training or getting training. And I think that takes some of that, right? It's people expect something out of it instead of just being married to the process. And just stay in the process and let God take care of the rest. You can't control getting a scholarship offer.
100%.
You can't control wins. You can't control offers. You can't control what happens on the scoreboard. You can only control what you can. And I think those three things are things that are always within your control, within reason, right? Car breaks down. Yeah, it sucks on the way to training, but you were trying.
You had the attitude.
Yeah, you were ready to go. You just didn't, you weren't able to show up. So I think that consistency piece is missed a lot. Yeah. Is just keep showing up. If you keep showing up, it'll work. Something will. Right. You may not. Like I said, you just got to beat the version of yesterday.
Right.
Because everybody's not the most athletic kid on the field or wherever it is. Yes. You just keep showing up and keep being you. And that will take you so much further in life than, we have kids on every team where you're they are never going to play a meaningful snap for us. But they stay with the process and they're able to learn so many more or gain so many more attributes that'll help them further in life than getting on a field and catching a ball or hitting or pitching or whatever it is, right? There's so many more things to learn through amateur sports, I guess would be the best way to put it, or youth sports than, oh man, we got to get a scholarship offer. No, it's not how that works. How can we get them bigger? I don't know. You're genetics. I don't know what to tell you. But if they keep in the process and have a good attitude about it, that'll take them so much further.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Because even we were talking about this a little bit ago about how, scholarship opportunity, it's a low percent chance anyway, right?
Yeah.
We walk around like it's like a 50% chance.
I think it's down to what, like 6% of high school athletes
it's a 6%
go and play
chance.
College sports in general. Like I played D3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's down to 6% of high school athletes go play any level of college sports. Right. And so I don't, like you said, like 50%. That's how people walk around of like, it's like yes or no.
Yes or no, yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah,
like,
it's a 6% chance. If you're attacking training from a standpoint of, I want to go D1, well, when that dream, you feel like it's far-fetched or you lose that race, now in your head, it's like, well, I lost the race. Dang, I'm not going D1.
Yep.
What am I doing? Now you're losing the whole process of, wait, I'm training to become a better version of me. I'm training to become a good steward. Coach Stratton mentioned this in a previous episode, a good steward of the abilities that God has given me, right? He never promised and said, you can go D1. But he did say, with whatever talents I've given you, right? Use them, multiply them, go hard at what you do.
I don't think God really cares if you go D1 in sports, to be honest with you, right? Like
100%. And that's what.
I prayed for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be wrong, right? But I don't think anywhere in the Bible it says like if you pray to go D1, God's gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a wild thing right now that and like you said, you see it on the backside where that dream starts to look like it's not there, and then you lose that kid.
Yes.
And they're out.
I see
like,
it a ton.
What are we doing? Like, just keep it.
Because, like you said, it's building a foundation on sand, on a 6% sand chance. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when it dwindles, and no, just stay in the process. Even with training, I even tell the kids all the time, like when we're when we're training with MSI, it's not so that you could be Division I. You won't ever hear me promise a parent like, hey, your son will be Division I. My one promise is that your son or your daughter will be better than they were before they started training. That's a promise.
That's probably something for parents of like, if there's something I can't hang my hat on, if you go to train with somebody and they're like, this will make you D1, stop, turn around, get back in the car and go find somebody else. Like, because it just doesn't happen like that again. Everybody has a ceiling. It didn't matter how hard I worked. I don't know many like kids that worked harder than I did. And I went and played D3 football. Like it doesn't work like that. There has to be so many things that go right, and you have to be different to go play Division I, right? Those kids are, right? You see those kids even in like a D1 kid that's Marshall versus like Ohio State. Right. Those are two very different kids, especially coming out of high school.
100%.
Like, yeah, you get it in with the portal and everything now. Like it is what it is, but you get a little bit more developed. But coming out of high school, like those are different people most of the time.
100%.
And you see those kids. We played against a few of them this year, right? You see him. We get off the bus, and you're like, oh, there he is. Like, yep,
yeah.
Like, he's he looks different than everybody out here. So,
and that's not to say like, that's not to watch this and be like, well, what's the purpose of training, right? That's not what we're saying, but it's saying that, hey, training helps you become the best version of you. Being a great high school athlete is really good. It's some joy in that. Even, I know we've talked about it, even in junior high, being a great junior high athlete, it's some joy in that as well. Or even in your rec league or your travel league, right? Not saying that that's end all be all, but it's joy in performing at a high level, even at those levels, right? And not just keeping a D1 in your head and like, all right, if it ain't that, then I forgot about all these other areas in my life where I was good, all these other steps or stages in my life in sports that, was really good because of training, because of speed training, because of agility training. So
like it's I tell people it's like my job is to get you to reach your potential from a speed, strength, athleticism. That's my job, is to get you to reach your potential. And if you like, we fill that bucket up, and I don't think we miss very often, just as a staff and the way we do things. I don't think we miss that full potential very often. Yes. But sometimes, right, like no matter how hard you work, you're not guaranteed anything. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow.
That is true.
Like I have little mighty mites right now, right? And so I may feel different one day, but to me, it's always about what we can learn going forward. And even like in your career, right? Like you suffered a lot of like adversity, especially coming out of high school and then moving around and like, but you just stayed with it and like, let's go to work, let's go to work, let's go to work, let's find the next thing.
Yes.
Like kept training, kept working hard, kept chasing it. But then you're so much better on the backside of it now. than you would have been if you would have just quit after your first year, you know, like, because it would have been easy to sit there and go like, oh man, I got gypped, coach didn't like me, like all the excuses, instead of just being like, all right, let's go, like, what's the next, and just keep at it. And then you're so much better on the backside as a person, as a coach, as somebody that's been through some adversity, especially in the sports world, to say like, no, like I can help here. And so, because you've built this like good base of character qualities that people tend to miss.
Exactly.
So,
no, I agree with that 100%, man. Just kind of changing shifts a little bit, shifting focuses a little bit. You work with the Minnesota Vikings, right, at the highest level. And I guess my question would, quick stop, but it was a stop, though. You know, it was a stop. It was a good stop. What did you learn up there that, you know, that you brought back and applied to the kids you work with now? You know, even Georgia, you know, is there something that the pros do? Or, you know, Georgia's just like the pros, SEC. That's the pros to me, you know. Do that, you know, maybe a 12-year-old, 12 to 14-year-old, is it something that they do as well, you know? Obviously not the same level as they do it, but different qualities.
I think with those, especially at the pro level, what those people realize is they have to be healthy. And they can't be healthy, stand up all night, every night of the week. They can't. They got to be locked in on their diet. They got to be locked in on their sleep, their hydration. And I think that's something, and you get taken care of a little bit more, right? Because you're given food, like go eat, you know? It's not like, hey, I got to go cook, I got to go do this. But I think what that level does a lot better job of than we see younger is they take care of their bodies outside of training. Like training it's meant to tear you down. It's meant to like cause stress to get adaptation. Like you can't get any sort of adaptation without causing stress. And so that's you know, it's funny when you, like, on our side, the athletic performance side, you know, that we're more like stress managers than anything of like, hey, when can I hit this button? And when, like, how can I flirt with redlining as much as I can and then back them off and like let them recover? And so, but they do I think high level people do a great job with that side of it. You know, I think I can think of a few kids that have come through our program that operate at a high level, and they did the same thing. You know, I'd be getting text messages of like, hey, this is what I'm going to eat this week. Does this look good? What can I change? Sleeping is huge, right? We all have cell phones attached to our hip all the time, but like, put them down. You know, if probably sounds weird, but like, you know, to parents, like, don't let the phone be in the room. You know, like, put it in the kitchen, put it like wherever. And I get it. That's probably going to be like a hard fight sometimes, but like the kid will be better for it. Just going to sleep, you know. Yes. I think that's something. If I could magically take care of something like inside of our program, it'd be that every one of our kids got like 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night of consistent sleep. Like just sleep, like straight sleep, because then all the responses you get after certain times, hormone releases and REM sleep and everything like that, it doesn't happen when you stay up till 2. Like you can stay up till 2 o'clock and sleep till 10. Like that 8 hours is not equal to 8 hours, you know, 10 to 6. 10 to 6. Like it's not the same. It's not the same 10 hours, you know. And so, because you've messed with your brain just sitting there and scrolling. Look, I get caught in it too. I'm not perfect. I'm not staying up till 2, but I'm going to bed. But
sometimes we stay up later than we should.
But then we got a job to do, right? And you got to show it.
And you feel it though.
You better burn on both ends. Like
you feel it. You know,
the
formula is still true.
Yeah, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. Like go, like take care. I think that's something. If the pros and elite level athletes do better than anybody is understand like their body is how they're going to make money. Yes. I think it's the same thing as like your body is going to perform for you. Like that's your vehicle for performance. And if you're not taking care of it, you know, you're not watching those check engine lights. You're not you're not putting gas in. You're not like putting the car in park. Like, the car's not going to take care of itself. You know, you have to do something. It's the same thing with your body. It's a vehicle, and you got to take care of that if you want to perform well. You know, you may get by a couple days here and there, but like you can't consistently perform well if you're not getting the sleep you need and not fueling the car up. So
no, I agree. Even kind of on like you're saying, on taking care of your body, because as you know, I'm around kids all the time, and I see the stuff they put in their body, and some people might say they're kids, let them eat, which is kind of true to an extent, but you feel it though. Yeah, if you let them eat that and have that lifestyle from from 7, 8, 9, 10,
changes.
I mean, your body's a vehicle.
I wish we'd take out all the the candy that we have in the dining commons. I wish we'd just take it all out, because think the kids you deal with on a daily basis. There's not a 5th grader in the world that if you're like, hey, you can buy these airhead ropes or whatever they are, or you can go get eggs and grits.
Yes.
That there is very obviously which one they're gonna choose. You know,
you see kids with French toast sticks and a cookie and the airheads on one plate,
and it's 8:50 in the morning. Yeah. What are we doing? I just think it's crazy if you can lock some of that in. I think it's like you said, it's a game changer. You feel it. They may not know, right?
Yeah, they
because
don't know.
Kids don't know, and that's fine. But like you said, the compound effect of that, they do that year after year after year. Man. I can't focus in class. Oh, yeah, because you just took 500 grams of sugar to the dome at 850. I'd feel like crap as an adult doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll eat, you eat a donut or something, and every time I do, I'm like, I feel terrible. This was a terrible choice. Yeah. And so
it all goes back to just being a good steward of your body.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until you're older to
figure that out.
And make all the mistakes. You learn at a young age, and at MSI, that's one thing we try to harp on is just, developing great eating habits for kids. Are you eating your vegetables? Are you getting nothing crazy, but are you eating vegetables? Are you eating, proteins? You don't have to be kind of a nerd about it.
You shouldn't be weighing your food at 8 years old either, but
it is important.
Are you getting a full range of food, not just
because all of it circles back to performance.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not, right? In the classroom, day to day. I think that's something especially parents can help with. And I know it sucks. And like I said, I got the 3 and 1 on the way, and you get home after work and you're like, I don't want to do this. But I'm also not willing to sit there and be like, yeah, just eat what you want, because mine will go in there in a heartbeat and grab some chocolate, granola, something or other. Today I came in and Lottie was standing on the counter, grabbing something out of the snack thing that's supposed to be a once a week, and she's already up there, has it open, is eating. And I'm it's just a perfect example of what we're talking about. A kid is going to choose the thing that tastes the best.
Right.
That stuff sugar does crazy things to your brain.
It does.
They're gonna choose the thing that does a crazy thing to their brain because it tastes good.
And
I don't disagree with you, but you just can't be an all the time thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's super important.
100%, especially for performance.
Yeah,
just talking performance and speed and all that kind of helps either boost performance or not. And so
you only have so much in your gas tank. Are you filling it up with good gas? You're filling it up with terrible gas?
That's a good point.
The terrible gas is going to burn quick, and it probably is a little bit easier. But the good gas is going to be something that actually fuels you up a little bit. So
be lasting.
Yeah.
So last question, I guess, if a parent, was watching this right now and, walks away and does one thing differently for their kid tomorrow, right? What would you want that to be? Let's think speed, think agility, think training, is it running certain times per week? Is it, functional movements?
Yeah, I think you could take it a bunch. From a performance perspective, we're talking about just training specifically. Let them play more, just free play and let them go. It doesn't have to be this structured training all the time. Let them problem solve in I don't know. I don't see kids play it anymore, but growing up, right? Playing throw them or bust them up, or kids don't do that. And you're kids don't watch sports, so they're not when I was growing up, right? Growing up in Atlanta area, I grew up when Mike Vick was in his heyday in Atlanta, and so you watch him, and then everybody's trying to emulate that when we go play, and so there's not enough free play that happens. Yes. And I think that stuff is super big.
Kids in the neighborhood.
Just go play and find a field or whatever that looks like. And I think our elementary kids do a good job of it for sure. When they, especially during games, you see them down there, that little side field we have. They're just there's just kids over there doing things. And so the structured training I think is really good. But I think it's also like something that's overdone a lot in young kids.
Yes.
And then outside of the like training aspect from just overall performance, like if they have a cell phone, like don't let it be in their room at night. Like get it out, because like that's what that thing is engineered to do. It's engineered to keep you on it. And so it's hard especially for like an undeveloped kid to say like, oh, I'm gonna put this down. Like, that's what it's made to do. It's made to like stay in your hand. It's made to keep looking at it. And so I think that's I know you said one thing, but that's two things that I'm like, I think kids' attitudes would change almost instantly over a few days at least if they got quality sleep. And then I think if kids could play more, like open play.
I see that. I love how you like incorporate that into your training. Yeah. I know you see me sometimes like record, like, that's a good drill to do. Yeah. With even, with MSI, with us working with 9-year-olds, 7-year-olds, sometimes 6-year-olds, right? Yeah. Of, doing a somersault and sprint. Yeah. Or falling and sprint. Or I know Mike, he loves to do a drill where, you're running on a line and somebody's putting force on you and you're not trying to get off of the line and you're running, leaning on just organic games.
Like, let it
crazy.
Happen. Don't.
But
there's too much like run to the orange cone and then run to the red cone and then run to the blue cone. Like no, we're not getting any more athletic there. Yeah. Like we're getting better at following directions, but we're not getting any more athletic. Like, don't fool yourself. If you're just doing like run to this cone, like your kid's not having to problem solve anything. In sports, it's all problem solving. It doesn't matter what sport it is. There's no sport that is not a problem solving venture or it's not a puzzle. Every sport has some sort of problem solving involved. And if all they know how to do is run to a cone that they were told to run to, then that's why I try to incorporate as much as we can, because they don't get that typically. Yes. And so even in my program, I always have to audit like what we're doing, where do we miss? I've done that already for this past year of and I already have an idea where I want to go for next year to like try to fill more buckets, because I just don't think they're getting filled the way they used to. And instead of coaches being like, oh, kids don't play anymore. Like, okay, then like that's our job, right? Our job is now to be like, okay, that bucket's not being filled anymore. How do we fill the bucket?
How do we be problem
Stop complaining about it and like figure out how to
offer a solution.
Yeah. There's too many there's too many people just saying like, oh, this kids these days and blah, blah. Like, no, kids are kids. Kids have been kids. They'll always be kids. Yes. Like coaches have like found a crutch to be like, oh, kids aren't the same. Like, no, like we need to be problem solvers here.
How do we evolve and be problem solvers?
Like, what worked in 1992 isn't going to work today. Yes. May not work, but like those basics, like you said, of like learning how to fall and get up, because they're not getting that. Just we've taken monkey bars away from most playgrounds because like kids fall and break their arm. It's like,
but monkey bars also did some good.
Yeah, like they're not like you know what you do when you fall and break your arm on the monkey bars. You don't fall again and break your arm on the monkey bars. Like you figure out what you did wrong. And like you sit in a cast for 6 weeks and like, cool, let's keep it rolling.
100%.
Playgrounds are too safe. Like even that, like with my kids, you just kind of watch them sometimes and you're like, let's see where this goes. And like, they fall and you're like, yeah, you're fine. Because most of the time, right, they're gonna be fine. Yeah. Like playgrounds are too safe. Bring back dangerous playgrounds. Yeah. Like I want to like there needs to be a level of like they have to figure it out. And so I think in even with like kids like 7 to whatever 25, whatever it is, like there needs to be more organic play that happens. Yes. And it can't be as structured as like you maybe want it. Right, as coaches, we always want everything to be like a certain way, and we don't love like open-ended type stuff. Like we want to see a direct care. I want to know exactly what we're getting out of the drill. Like I said earlier, like
some of these invisible pieces you get out of the organic play.
Just like let it happen. Yeah. Like see what happens. Like with the kids we see a lot, we don't have any wiggle, and our kids can't create it. They can't create space, and so I know you saw it last year. Like there was a lot of what we did that was just putting in positions to like figure it out. Yeah. Like go create space. And as the summer went on, they got better and better at figuring out like how to set people up, how to use leverage, how to use obstacles. They learned how to do that better. And it's just a crazy thing to me that like, hey, y'all need to do that. Like we have to do that in training. One, I think it's a lot of things. Like they're not watching sports enough.
Yeah.
But then two, like training is way too structured. Like let them figure some stuff out. Like let their body work.
Those are great points, man. Great points. And at MSI, I know we're doing a camp this summer, and that's one thing that we really are focusing on is like you said that organic play and understanding that, man, you get the most out of an athlete when you're competing. For instance, the best game I love is tag.
Yeah.
Tag, you get the best out of an athlete because no athlete wants to get tagged.
No.
And, you want to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Right? Or you want to get the prize. It could be an end zone, it could be a tennis ball. You want to get the reward, and you don't want to get stopped from getting the reward. And I feel like you said, once you create spaces like that, you get the most out of an athlete. You get to see how they respond when there's pressure.
Yeah.
You get to see, their movements.
Yep.
And they'll go full speed.
Yeah,
One drill that I despise is drills that, are cued on the whistle to go this way, go that way.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get an athlete, when he's running one way, he's sitting waiting on the whistle and he's not changing direction at the pace that he would in the game. In the game, if it's football, you're changing direction when someone shows up, not when someone tells you to go left and then go back right.
Yeah.
Right? In baseball, same thing, right? Soccer, same thing.
Yeah.
You're changing direction when someone shows up, not when you hear a cue.
Yep.
And so I love the point that you hit on organic play.
It's a visual cue. Sports happen there, and like training should probably, and there's a time and place, right, for the cone to cone stuff and like it's teaching and slowing stuff down, but I think a lot more should be like this open-ended problem solving puzzles more so than, and like try to expose them to so many different movement patterns that their body has to react.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, kids don't like to lose, especially little kids. The little kids hate losing. And so, and especially when they're good athletes, like good athletes at that age, they hate it. And so, but they start to figure out like, okay, how do I not lose again? And they start like trying to figure out the game, and they start trying to figure out what's the best way to get them there. And then I think that stuff is invaluable, especially as they get older.
Yes. I agree. 100%. Well, Coach, man, thank you for your time.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, this was outstanding, man. Parents, I really hope you got as much out of this as I did, man, talking to the expert, the guru, Coach George Adams. So, if you want your son or daughter to start building a real athletic foundation this summer, come to an MSI Speed Camp. The boys' camp will be June the 9th through June 11th at Madison-Ridgeland Academy from 4 to 5:45. We're also doing a girls' camp this year, June the 23rd through the 25th. Okay. Same place, same time, ages 7 to 14. Come learn some foundational pieces that can help your young athlete just become better, right? And so we're doing that, and everything you need will be on the Mississippi Speed website. You can visit that at MississippiSpeed.com, right? MississippiSpeed.com. So I'm Coach Philip Short. This is the Mississippi Speed Instruction Podcast, and thank you guys for watching.